Sure.
OK, now school days. The school days, they say, are the best time of your life to be looked back on with some very fond memories.
In Norfolk, some old boys have been celebrating the history of their school, which no longer exists, and where they were trained for a life which no longer exists. John Francis went back with them.
It all seems a long time ago now, but this Norfolk country house was once school for Cyril Levett of Diss, Russ Foster of Fritton and Len Abel of Norwich. These days, Ingham Old Hall is an old folks' home. But between 1940 and 1953, it was the Prince of Wales Sea Training School, preparing teenage boys for a life as deck ratings in the Merchant Navy. It was an offshoot of the British Sailors Society, who made this film to explain how, after 6 months training and all the seafaring practicalities, boys sent to sea would also be able to keep in touch with the Society's agents in every major port, caring for their material and spiritual needs.
In these surroundings with this type of training, the boys learn how to conduct themselves as seamen of the future and to prepare themselves for the exacting and strenuous demands of their chosen career.
Naturally, it's a nostalgic return for these three to the house where the rooms were all named as parts of a ship.
In my day, this was the wardrobe where the officers had all their meals, and if you managed to get in here, you were very privileged.
These three led eventful later lives. Len Abel saw the world in classic Merchant Navy style, visiting Africa and Australia. Cyril's ship was torpedoed off Africa in 1942, and he drifted to the Canary Islands in an open lifeboat. Russ Foster had spells on fisheries patrol in Canada and as an eel fisherman in Scotland. Today, they say, there are almost no British ratings left. The work is done by men of other nationalities. But the men who passed through the Prince of Wales Sea Training School are keen to find other old boys to share their memories of a way of life that's gone.
Well, they were very strict, the two instructors, Freddie Painter and Mr. Breesley, but I think they were old naval men, and they were really taught you well.
Old Freddie Painter used to use a rope with a damn great knot in the end of Turk's head, and you got that clipped around your ear if you did anything wrong.
We'd only be around about 7, and the officer would come round, come on Yen, and make sure your feet all hit the deck at the same time. You stay deck, that was upstairs in one of the bedrooms, you know, and we do all kinds of things. We go down to, we're all encouraged to bring our bicycles, and we'd ride down to the Broads and go on one of the whalers and roll down the river and learn boatmanship, yeah, all that kind of thing, and knot tying and steering, compass points.
North by east, northeast, northeast by northeast, northeast by east, northeast, east by northeast.
Standing on your own 2 feet, I think, was a big thing. That was what we were taught. You had to look after yourself.
In 1953, the school was moved to Dover, and in 1975 it closed. This plaque was salvaged and recently returned to Norfolk. It records the names of old boys who lost their lives in the Second World War. On May the 20th, there'll be a service of dedication here at the church in Ingham, when the surviving old boys of the Prince of Wales Sea Training School will gather once again. John Francis, Anglia News, Ingham in Norfolk.
Some great memories. There's some fantastic old footage there.
Absolutely. Do you think the school days are the best days of your life?
Oh, mine were pretty good.
Yeah, I think mine were too as well. So,
well,
we're not going to worry about the mortgage in those days, have you, I suppose?
No, very true.
Well, do stay with us. We're here.